I'll just figure it out by myself, or I'm doing my own thing. It'd be like, instead of getting your black belt in karate, it'd be like, nah, I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to do it my own way. I'm going to do my own thing. You're going to like watch a YouTube video and like wrestle with a teddy bear in your living room. I think that's going to be good fight prep.
I mean, I guess it's a joke. Yeah, if that's the only person that you're competing against is the teddy bear, but in real life, you're going to come up against other people, and plus I feel like you need a team, not necessarily that you need one, but you want one. That's the whole reason why,
Easy. Hello. How you guys doing today? We're about to meet Michelle Waterson, aka the Karate Hottie. She's been training with me this week, and she comes over a few times a year to help me get my jiu-jitsu and general MMA stuff together. And we talk about a lot of business things, nerdy business stuff a bit, talk about a lot of fighting stuff. And last night we were having a conversation of the overlap, kind of between those disciplines. We're on the mats last night. What time did we finish training last night? You remember?
Oh, it was pretty late. Was it? No.
I think we ordered food around 11. We were still training at 11 something, and then we ordered food and continued to do a few things until close to midnight. I think you were about to say midnight. So close to midnight we wrapped up, and then we talked about some more business stuff at dinner, and got some rest, and been just back at it today. So, I think a comment you made about fighting yesterday is that sometimes things are pretty and elegant and everything flows nice, and sometimes things are a little bit more brute force.
Yes.
And I think there's some folks here that still suffer a delusion of like they're waiting for everything to be perfect and beautiful before they go assert themselves in the world and do something. Mm-hmm. You think that's a good success strategy?
I think for a lot of people, they're and myself included, you're afraid to do something because you want to wait until you get it perfect, until you understand it completely, and that perfect never comes. It's always evolving, and especially as we're talking about in MMA, there's so much to learn, and the more you learn, the more you realize there is still more to learn. And as you learn, the sport itself begins to evolve. So there's just a never-ending slew of things to learn. And so the best strategy is to go for it, and whatever happens, regardless of the outcome, you're pushing forward, you're moving forward.
So you think it's a good strategy to just go for it with some dumbass with no preparation and little thoughts that, I'm going to invest everything I have, which of course would be not much, in the stock market or a new business venture they know nothing about, or they woke up one day and they say, I'm going to be a cage fighter. But I don't want to coach. I don't want to train. Training, that's not fun all the time. I'm just going to be a world champion with no coach and no training and no preparation. I'm just going to go for it.
Yeah, no, definitely I would say calculated risks for sure. You got to prepare, absolutely. But right, I guess just like in anything else in life, there's a balance. So to prepare yourself, but also understand what risks you're taking. We talk about this all the time in fighting. So having an offensive mindset with the understanding of what will come back to you. So if you go into a fight, like I'm prepping for a fight, and I go in there studying my opponent, watching tape on her, and constantly thinking, okay, she's going to do this to me. What if she does this to me? What if she does that to me? My mindset going into that fight is going to be defensive. And you don't want to go into any fight defensive. So the better strategy to do is to obviously study your opponent, see what they do, but take what they do and see how you can move into those situations offensively to be victorious. Understanding when I am being offensive, what can come back at me.
That makes a lot of sense. You had a coach too, yeah?
Yes, absolutely. More than just one coach, especially in MMA. And, you have your stand-up coach, your wrestling coach, your MMA coach, nutritionist, sports psychologist, accountant, manager. Yeah. So
your husband's was spent time as a professional boxer. He helps you with a few things as well. Yeah. And then, so you got at least 8 people helping you out, significantly between the fighting side and the business side. Then you have, more than that really. So you got 8, 10, 12 or more people helping you between the fighting side of, preparation for that, and also managing the resources, your earnings and endorsements and, other opportunities, speaking fees, appearance fees. You've done some Hollywood movies.
Yeah.
Plenty of other, commercials and endorsements for things. So fair to say you got, good 10 people around you helping you with things like this regularly between various coaches, mentors.
Yeah, absolutely. I it takes a village for sure.
Why don't you just do it all by yourself? I heard on the internet you could just do it all by yourself, and if you get help, that's a scam. It means you're dumb.
I mean, I think plenty of people have tried, but it. For one, I've known people to try doing things themselves and they get burnt out. It's a lot of work. So you need a group, a team of people, behind you, around you, to succeed. If I'm comparing it to the fight world, we always talk about it like this. With the group of people that you train with, you need somebody. You need a group of people that are better than you, that you have to force yourself to try to get to. You need a group of people that are at the same level as you, so you have good competition. And then you need people that are below you so that you can work your offensive moves and your strategies. So it's important to have a variety of people in different areas of life in your group.
So you see them, poking a little bit for, you see the humor, but if it wasn't clear to anybody else, it's such an absurd thought that you're going to go do, complex things by yourself, that you're going to be such a wizard at everything that you're going to solve, a lot of people can't solve simple problems and they think they're going to figure out, extraordinarily complex problems. They're going to do that by themselves sometimes. And I always laugh when I call them fumblers, because that's what they're going to do, is they're going to fumble their entire future. That they're like, I'll just figure it out by myself, or I'm doing my own thing. It'd be like, instead of getting your black belt in karate and, high level jiu-jitsu and wrestling and, all the skills that you developed over time, you'd be like, nah, I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to do it my own way. I'm going to do my own thing. You're going to watch a YouTube video and wrestle with a teddy bear in your living room. I think that's going to be good fight practice.
I mean, I guess
it's a joke.
Yeah, if that's the only person that you're competing against is the teddy bear, but in real life, you're gonna come up against other people, and plus, I feel like you need a team. Not necessarily that you need one, but you want one. That's the whole reason why. You do anything in life is for community, for family, and to be able to create those relationships that you can take with you for the rest of your life.
That's very interesting. We were talking about a little of that last night as well. That and I wanted to, as a hobby, not as a profession, but as a hobby, I get interested in MMA. I'm like, it'll be good for my fitness. I'll learn some new skills. I like challenges. I kind of need a challenge. I'm not really happy if I don't, have to do something kind of difficult I have some mental illness that way, that I have to do something difficult to feel happy and engaged and, most productive in life. The most productive people have that attribute one way or another. And, the team of people that I put together that I asked for help, you and, 20 other people that come over here somewhat regularly, or some of them very regularly, we were laughing about it last night. It'd be like the best hand-to-hand combat team ever.
Yeah, if you were to assemble a group of people that you would want in your corner for anything. If anything hits the fan, you got that group for sure.
Yeah, with no weapons, it was like, I'd mess up any like special forces team or Navy SEAL team or anybody else. Right. It'd be no problem. And I wanted to learn, I never feel burned out about something, but I know if I'm going to take on a project, I'll work very hard at it, but I want to know that I'm learning the best ways, I'm learning the best practices, the best ways to do things, from people that actually did things in real life, not a textbook. And I read a lot of books. I got a few that I kept over there, a lot that I threw away that I just admitted I'm never going to read a second or third time. But when people say, "Oh, I'm going to read a book about that or watch a video or figure it out online," and I'm like, "Oh, if a book was going to make you a billionaire, what librarians would be a lot richer, I think the
application.
PhDs would be making more than 80 or 100,000 a year. Doctors of this or that, academic people would make more than 100 grand a year if all those books. Those are the people that write the books that are the so-called experts, and some of them are legitimate experts in some niches, and some of them are just guessing or writing some jibber that's commonly accepted in their profession that they won't be judged negatively for, but it doesn't really work in real life either, So I always like to find practitioners of people that did something, so clinical professors at the university, or people that I think it's important to learn from people who did the things that you want to do, or to that have the skills legitimately, and not can write a book about it or pretend they do.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a characteristic I look for, with my daughter, taking her to gymnastics or whatever it is that she is passionate about. Something that I look for in the coach is what their experience is, what their resume is, what they've done in their life, the things that they've accomplished. So that's what I look for, but I also think it's important to look for a coach that is engaging, a coach that is passionate, somebody that really, cares for you to succeed. And a lot of times those coaches, they're a little rough around the edges, and they are a lot of times really matter of fact. And some people are turned off by that, but for me, I think it's really important to have those people in your lives that will call it how it is and tell you when you fumble the ball, when you aren't performing at your best, because it's hard for us to hold ourselves accountable. And that's why you look to coaches. That's why you have accountability partners and people in your life to call you out when you're dropping the ball, or when when you're not performing at the level they know you can. That's what I look for sure.
That makes a lot of sense.
Hey guys, this is Tim from Germany, one of Derek Moneyberg's long-term clients. Derek has basically coached me for the past decade, and I hope for many more decades to come. And he has helped me incredibly with my financial situation, helped me to make a shit ton of money in the stock market. And I'm finally completely 100% financially independent, being able to do the things that I truly like, and especially that I don't have to do the things that I don't like at all. I can just encourage everyone out there who's really serious about his financial situation, do the right thing, and you already know what the right thing to do is. And if you're a fan of a work-life balance, this is clearly not for you. Just turn off the video. But if you're really fucking serious about being a winner, being financially independent, I hope you do the right thing, and hopefully, and see you soon.